Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a fantastic chicken and vegetable stew with string hoppers or idiyappam. I normally love to eat this stew with rice, but I said I haven't shown this lovely string hopper yani ki idiyappam recipe to you. I said chalo banate hain, and they go really well together. Now talking about this Mantra Special Chicken Masala by Emami Healthy and Tasty is like a #1 spice. Normally I have to pick out spices, keep them, and choose what I'm going to use for this stew. But I use this chicken masala for one of my recipes, and I said, what? If I use this to make a fantastic chicken stew with these amazing vegetables like potatoes, carrots, beans, drumstick, add some coconut milk, a tadka of coconut oil. Wow, totally sorted, buddy, totally sorted. So first things first. Now you know that when you are actually making a dough with rice flour especially, or any flour which is gluten free, okay, you have to actually use hot water to make your dough, because literally the rice flour gets actually almost cooked in this hot water to create this lovely dough. So I'm adding about half a teaspoon of salt. I've got about 350 grams of rice flour, to which I've got about 260 grams of water, okay. So literally we are going to be mixing this in, okay. And what I've done is मैंने गरम पानी इसमें डाला है and I've just switched it off. So literally I'm going to bring this together, and along with this about a teaspoon of oil in here, okay. Perfecto. So literally mixing this really well. And next what we're going to do is just use like a wooden spoon and bring it all together. So basically हम क्या कर रहे हैं, I am distributing the entire hot water, almost like kneading the dough, putting it together. So we're going to make sure that there is no rice flour which is dry or not hydrated. So literally you get a very nice, almost like cooked rice kind of taste, yeah. So you can see as the dough starts coming together, it starts leaving the sides of your pot, and that's when you know it's ready, okay. So just be a little careful, because abhi bhi thoda sa garam hai. I'm going to be just taking a little bit of rice flour in my hand, sprinkling it over, and very quickly, okay, I'm going to bring this together. We've got a nice lovely semi-stiff dough together. I'm going to be just putting it right here, covering it, and we're going to be resting it for a while. So now you can see it's easy to handle. So perfect. So I've got a couple of nice green chilies. I've got a couple of bird's eye chili or Thai red chilies, okay. I like my stew a little spicy, so this is actually going to give me the heat to that, okay. We have our vegetables जैसे मैंने आपको बताए थे. तो पहले let's start with our chicken. Now literally this chicken is going to be stewed in coconut milk, so it's going to get a lot of really nice flavor. So अगर मुझे इसको थोड़ी सी previously marinate करना था, so I would just be adding maybe salt to it, and then I would be just adding थोड़ी सी हल्दी का powder, nothing much. So normally I wouldn't marinate this with too many spices or for too long. It's going to be cooking beautifully with all in its own juices with coconut milk. So also I'm using meat masala. So literally I don't really need the full 9 yards for marinating this chicken. कुछ ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. So basically ये basic marination जो है नमक है और हल्दी है. That's it. We don't need too many things here, okay? This is just to marinate it initially. You could do this a couple of hours or even one day in advance. So even I'm doing it literally right now, okay? I'm using chicken legs in this recipe on the bone. But if you ask me, how do you like your chicken? I always say, I like it on the bone. Now, in this particular recipe, I've also taken the skin out, okay? Because generally, जो हमारे most of the Indian dishes जो बनते हैं, they don't really skin के साथ लोग यहाँ पे नहीं खाते हैं. So I prefer जब मैं ये stew बनाता हूँ, I'm actually just marinating it simply, just like that. No need to add too much into it because ये जो Mantra का जो chicken masala है, it's got everything, literally 18 different spices, guys, 18. I'm using an Ultralite Soyabean Oil to start my stew, and later on I'm going to be tempering it with some coconut oil, okay? Just a personal feeling which I have. So we have some bay leaves and I've got a cinnamon stick, okay, which I'm actually just using to flavor the oil, just like that. And after this I'm going to be adding my chicken into this. I'm adding a little bit of salt to this, okay. So first thing first is I'm going to be literally searing my chicken, okay. Literally searing it. I'm not browning it like you have seen me in my other recipes when we are actually doing bhuna chicken or I'm doing a Sindhi chicken curry. This is just, I'm just searing, yani ki I'm just sealing the meat so that the juices will actually stay inside, just like that, okay. Beautiful. को हम हल्का सा इसको sear कर देते हैं पहले. So our chicken is really nicely stirred. I'm going to put the chicken inside here. Stand by on the side. Or bus in the same pot, in the same lagan, I would say, I'm going to be adding my slit chilies in here. I'm going to be adding about 15 to 20 curry leaves easily here. Now it's time to add some coconut oil in here. We have this lovely tempering happening inside, into which I'm adding 2 finely chopped onions here. Just a few mustard seeds in here. Beautiful. Next, we have our 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste here. Now on the side, okay, I've got some water here, into which I'm adding a little bit of salt. Fantastic. And along with that, I'm adding a little bit of turmeric as well, okay, thoda. Fantastic. And 1 slit green chilli, okay. So this is a kind of a stock which I'm creating, in which I'm going to be cooking my veggies in here. And literally this entire vegetable flavored stock is going to go inside into my stew. I also like to use mushrooms sometimes when I'm doing this stew. They are just outstanding. I love. So when I'm not doing a meat stew, if I'm doing like a vegetable stew, I love to add mushrooms into this. So we're going to give this a nice mix. Next, oh yes, our seared chicken pieces will go inside along with their lovely juices. और उसके बाद nicely mix this up. Wow, amazing. और अभी हम डालेंगे इसमें, literally I'm using about a kilo of chicken over here, okay? Chicken legs. उसमें हम डालेंगे about 2 tablespoons of our lovely Mantra Special Chicken Masala. इसको हल्का सा हम भून देते हैं अभी. अच्छी तरह हमने mix कर दिया है. I can get a really nice, amazing spice. You know, there's a lot of methi in this. There's a lot of coriander. There's a lot of cumin. I can also get like elaichi in here. I can get some cinnamon. So there are about 18 or 19 different spices. Can you believe that? Amazing. So next, we're going to be adding 2 tomatoes in here, finely chopped. You can also use tomato puree. If you want to use a little bit of tomato juice, you can also do that as well. Amazing. So literally, I'm scraping off all the masalas and bringing everything together. Perfecto. On this side here, where I've got my stock, I've got my carrots which I'm blanching. I've got my potatoes, okay. I could literally add my potatoes in here as well. So I've got my carrots here, which have gone in first. Once they start coming up to the boil, next I'm going to be adding my green beans in here. Towards the end, after the coconut milk, I'm going to be adding my drumstick in here because drumstick doesn't take too long to cook at all, okay. So there is definitely some kind of order in which आप जो अपने vegetables है that you will put inside. Beautiful. Now just look at this. The fragrance, the aroma, ये जो महक of that meat masala is something else, guys, trust me. So now with this water which is cooking here, I'm going to be using a little bit to make a little bit of liquid in as well. Lovely, beautiful. तो इसको अभी हम थोड़ा सा इसका पानी सुखा लेते हैं. Okay, and I'm going to be covering this. Oh yes, it's time for the carrots to go inside. It's time for our green beans to also go inside. Beautiful. And then we have our lovely drumsticks. Our coconut milk. Fantastico. Now that's what I call a lovely, hearty, comforting chicken and vegetable stew. Solid, boss, solid. We have a really nice, well-rested dough. So this is literally an Idiyappam dough or a string hopper dough. This is an Idiyappam machine. Okay, it can be used for various things. Okay, we make save with it. We make murukku with it. I also do like a pasta with it. So whenever we are doing like a gluten-free pasta and I want to do like something with chickpea flour, we use this as well. But currently this is for string hoppers. Now what do you need for string hoppers? You need a steamer essentially, okay? So I've got this nice steamer, we've got the water, you can use any other kind of contraption. If you want to use your idli steamer, it's amazing. And on the idli trays, you just sprinkle it with a little bit of coconut and then you put this out. So I would love to dedicate this dish, this recipe to my dear friend Chef Jerry, who's the executive chef of the Coconut Lagoon in the backwaters. We've had a fantastic time in Kerala eating some lovely idiyappams and stew. Another disclaimer, this stew is not a Kerala stew, okay? I know I'm going to get a lot of things, oh in Kerala we don't do this, in Kerala we don't use mackerel for moili, but you know what? It is a chef's expression, it is a chef's creativity, and cooking is such a vast thing that you know what? Nobody's ever wrong. So follow your passion and don't get into that place, okay? So literally, this is not a Kerala Ishtu. It is a chicken and vegetable stew. So we have our lovely Idiyappams here. Chef Jerry had told me, always put a little bit of coconut at the bottom. Okay, lovely. अभी इसके ऊपर हम हमारे Idiyappam drop करेंगे. Beautiful. Fantastico. अभी back here, lovely. About 3 to 4 minutes, our Idiyappams will be ready. Oh, lovely. Perfecto. So we've got this lovely, fluffy Idiyappam. Wows. Wow, simply wows. Wow. Delicious. So we have another beautiful string hopper here. So we have a lovely simmering going on here. I'm going to finish this with a touch of cream in here. Beautiful. और अभी हम इसको last minute एक तड़का दे देते हैं बस और हमारी Ishtu ready हो गई. So giving this a little mix. Beautiful. Look at that. Nice. So you can see it's a really nice hearty stew. Vegetables are cooked very beautifully. It's got a really nice, lovely, homely, wintry, very traditional kind of scene going on. Now what we're going to do, I've just got some coconut oil in here. Okay. Our final tadka along with some curry leaves. Beautiful. So we're just adding some curry leaves in some coconut oil in here. Along with some roughly crushed cinnamon. Beautiful. So curry leaves almost frying, cinnamon almost frying. Okay. So once this comes to a nice boil, I'm going to be adding this tempering to my lovely stew. Look how beautifully the vegetables have thickened it, especially the potatoes have given it a beautiful body. Next, we're going to be adding our tadka to this. Perfecto. And guys, one more time, this is not a Kerala Ishtu. This is a simple chicken and vegetable stew made with Mantra Chicken Masala. Oh yeah. Beautiful stew. Typical, hearty, soul food vibes happening going on in this kitchen. I'll tell you what, guys, you have to cook this recipe for all your loved ones. Punya milenge aapko, punya. Definitely one is not going to be enough. So always, we have a table for two today, I think. Lovely vegetables, succulent chicken, beautiful masalas, great company, and good vibes. Idiyappam and not a Kerala stew ready. This is what I call soul food. A beautiful vegetable and chicken stew with some lovely idiyappams using only the top of the pop chicken masala from Mantra Spices. Make sure you like, subscribe, do cook, and of course, when you go shopping next time, look for this. These are top class. I'll see you soon.